Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can apply for a US tourist visa on your own. So first of all you need to go to this web page. I am going to put this link in my video description so where you can easily find out. So first of all you need to choose the location from where you are going to apply for your US tourist visa, and then you need to basically create an account, and there you can have to select the security question, and please remember the answer because whenever you need to go back to fill out your application, then you have to have remembered the security answer. And plus the at the top right corner you can see the application number. This number is very important, so you can take a screenshot either, or you can also write it down on somewhere so that you don't forget this number, because this is called your application confirmation number once you submit your application. So after this you need to enter your personal information, like your full name. Like you have to make sure it matches with your passport or any other travel document. And if you have your full name in native alphabet, like meaning in your own native language, if you don't have, then you can simply select the option that doesn't apply. After this, they are asking you have you used any other name. For example, if you change the name for any reason, or maybe after marriage, so that this is what it means. After this there is a special tally code that represents the name, but most likely that doesn't apply, but it really depends on your situation. Then you have to select simply your gender and marital status, like are you married, single, or whatever. And then you have to enter your date of birth, which city, and which state or province. If you don't know, then, or if that doesn't apply, you can simply select does not apply, and then you have to choose the country too. After this information you need to click on the next tab, and here you need to select your country, your nationality, and then you have to mention that do you hold any permanent residency for any other country other than your nationality country. And then it's asking for the national identification number. For example, for India it can be Aadhaar card, or any other, basically your country nationality identification number that your country provides you. Most likely it's better to put your passport number, because that's already issued by your country, right? So it's better just to put the passport number, just make to simple. And then it will be asking do you have social security number. If you don't have, then does not apply. Or again it's asking for your taxpayer US ID number. If you have, if you don't, then just simply click on does not apply. After this you need to go to next page, where it will be asking you for your travel information, and then it will be asking you purpose of your trip in the US. So there is so many categories, and this video is specifically for the tourist visa for the US. Here there is two options, B1 and B2. You can directly go to my blog, and where I mentioned the difference between these two categories. So specifically B1 is for the business purpose and B2 is for the tourism. I personally recommend that you should apply for both category, because there is no any disadvantage for applying for both. The thing is we never know what happened within 10 years, right? So it's better to choose both options, but I don't think so they're gonna ask you in the interview. But if they gonna ask you, then you can simply mention that I just apply, because just for the safe side, you can tell the officer that I applied, and there is nothing wrong with that. And then it is asking like, have you made any specific travel plans for now? I mean, after especially COVID, appointment for interview is not available within like month or so. So like for from the Canada, I know that specifically for Vancouver, it is asking like giving the appointments like available in 2024, and for Ottawa, I think it's 2025. So I'm pretty much sure like it's gonna be very much waiting time for other countries too. So don't make any specific travel plans, like don't book any reservations like for your hotel or for whatever for airline. But it will ask you for the estimate arrival time, like when you are planning to visit US. So you just need to give an estimate, like on like the date and for how long you're gonna stay in the US. So you can choose, but make sure like you don't choose like for more than 6 months, right? Because the entry is normally for 6 months. And then it will be asking you like who going to pay for your trip. So if you are paying by your own, then you have to choose the option self. Otherwise, like if your employer or any other family members are paying, then you have to mention that. And one thing I want to mention here, like if you don't have any relative, or you don't have any friend to give them the address, like in that case you can give the address for any hotel, but don't make any reservation. But you can just like for example, you are visiting, that you're going to visit California state, right? Then you can choose the hotel for that city, and you can put that address. Another thing to mention, that if you are mention that you are going to US less than 24 hours, then you don't need to mention any address basically. After this, like they're gonna ask you like, are there any other members that gonna travel with you? So it really depends on your circumstance, like are you going alone, or are you going with your friends, or maybe with the group or any organization members. And then if you are, then you have to give them details. After this page, you need to mention them your previous US travel history if you have. So basically it just simply asking you like, have you been in the US before, or have you issued a US visa before? So answer to that questions, right? If you have, then mention them. If you don't, then just click on no. Or if you have any refusal or anything they are asking, so you have to give them the accurate information. If you do have refusal, please give them details, because they already have all the data. So never lie, it's not better to lie. And one thing more, in the last question it is asking that like have anyone filed an immigrant petition on your behalf. So basically, like for example, if you have a spouse already in the US, and he or she has a green card or maybe citizen of the US, and your spouse has already applied for your immigration petition, right, for you. So give them details if you have in that scenario. So that is basically it is asking. Next step is asking you for your contact information basically. So you have to mention them your home address and mailing address, and you need to put your contact phone number, and you need to mention that if you have any other phone number that you used within the last 5 years. And then you need to mention them email address. Please put only that email address that you can regularly check, because all the updates will be going to in your that email address. like for your interview and any status update. It's gonna be all the communication will be onto this email address. It is also will be asking you for your social media accounts, like for example Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or whatever you are using. So you have to mention that your username basically under the social media identifier. So first of all, you need to choose what type of social media you are using, and then you have to give them your username basically. And also, like, there is an option that is asking you that do you use any other website or anything where you normally create or share the content. For example, like basically for like example will be like blog or maybe WhatsApp, something like that. The next step is just to enter your passport information details, basically your passport number, issue country, all that stuff. And then the next step is just to enter the details for your family members, like your basically for your father and mother. In this tab, you need to enter your family information, basically for your mother and father details. And if you don't know the name or maybe the date of birth for your father or either mother, then it's fine. You can just simply click on don't know. And after this, you need to tell them, like, do you have any immediate relatives, which is basically like, for example, like your spouse, maybe your child, or maybe brother, sister. So that's come under immediate relatives. And then it will ask you, like, do you have any other relatives in the US, basically like your uncle or aunt. If you have, then just mention them. If you don't, then say no. After this, you need to now give them your details, like your work or education information. Basically, it will first basically will ask you, like, what is your primary occupation right now, like are you working or are you not working, or are you a student, like that. So it really depends on your situation, so you need to answer that accordingly. For example, if I choose my main primary occupation as a student, and then it will ask me about the school details, like when I started, the address for my college where I'm studying right now. So that is how it will ask you questions. And then you will see there is a box which says, like, briefly describe your duty. So basically you need to mention clearly, like what you are, like, basically give them as much as details you can, just to clearly depict like what you are doing right now. After this, you still need to continue with your previous education and work information. So after entering all your work and education training information, it will be asking you for additional information, so you need to enter that accordingly. And also they will be asking you, like, are you a member of a clan or tribe. And also it will be asking you for, like, which countries you visited within the last 5 years. So you just need to put the information about those countries which you visit only within the last years. Don't provide the information like if you visit the countries within last 10 years, so that doesn't relevant. So only provide that information that they are asking you. And then you need to mention, like, which additional languages you can speak, right? And then it will be asking you some other questions, like for example, have you served in the military, or do you have any specialized skills with fire alarms or nuclear, biological, or chemical experience. And so answer according to that. After this, you need to answer security and background questions, Basically, like, it will be asking you if you have any communicable diseases, or do you have any mental or physical disorder that can be a threat to the safety of other members or to the safety of yourself as well, or are you a drug abuser or addict. One thing I want to mention, one thing I like to mention, some of you might have a depression problem, or maybe you have your medication going on. So if that is not harmful for yourself or for others, then you don't need to disclose it. I mean, they are just asking you, like, do you have that level of depression or maybe mental disorder or any physical that can be a threat, right? So this is what it means. And then you need to continue for your security and background part 2 and part 3, part 4, part 5. So that are very simple security and background questions that they will be asking, and you can easily answer to that. So I will be now directly jumping to part 5 now. Alright, so when you are done with your security and background questions from part 1 to part 5, then the next step is you need to upload a digital photo, right? And this photo has taken within last 6 months, and for other specifications you can go to my blog. I will put the link in the video description, as I mentioned before. So there you can go and see the photo specifications as per from the US government for this tourist visa, which is very easy. And the next step, what you need to do is, after you upload your digital photo, it will give you the option to review all the information that you entered, and after that you need to submit it. When you submit, then there will be the application confirmation page will be sent to your email as well, and also it will show you on your screen, which can give you the option to print it out. And this is the application confirmation page that you need to carry with you when you're gonna go for your interview. And yes, that's it. So after filling all the information, this is we call DS-160 form that I showed you, like how to you can fill it out. After this, in the next video, I will be showing you next step, basically, that how you can make an appointment for your interview and what documents you need to bring for your interview. After that, I will be letting you know what you can expect after the interview. So stay tuned for this next video, and please do subscribe so that you will be notified when I will be uploading that video. Thank you.